Welcome back to the fourth part of your third chapter, Inclusive Strategies, and this part talks about tribal welfare. But before we go on, as we always do, let me ask you certain questions from the last class. Let us see whether you could answer them well or not. So, what is an NGO? Name any two NGOs working for the SCs. So, the answer is non-government, non-profit making, voluntary citizen based organizations for the welfare of the society. Examples: Servants India Society, Harijan Sevak Sangh. Who is the founder of Sulabh International? Dr. Bindeshwar Pathak. What is the biggest contribution of the Sulabh International? Human waste disposal, and while creating alternative energy. It is the biggest contribution of this particular organization, and making towns scavenging free. So, what are we going to learn today? In this particular chapter or part, we are going to learn the tribal welfare programs. They are given as three main headings: economic reforms, economic programs, under which there are certain programs which is 20-point program, lamps and trifid, and assistance to agriculture. Then educational programs, then research programs, and health, housing and other schemes, because these are the areas where these tribal people were lacking. Economic was a big, as you remember, they were very poor because of they were untouched by the wide side or the wider society's developmental programs. And then they were not educated, rate of illiteracy was very high in tribal population. So, there are some research programs that have come up to study their problems in greater detail in order to help them better. And if you remember, what all problems did they have? They had the problem of money lenders. So, they could never come out of the debts, all those problems were there. So, certain plans the government has come up with to help these people. And it is, and if you remember that in that chapter, second chapter, we had discussed about the health issues related to tribal people, because they were again not exposed to good health qualities, facility in their area. And housing was also a big problem for them. And so, these are the other various schemes that have initiated by the government, and under the tribal welfare programs, we are going to study all that today. So, a separate ministry was set up in 1999 after the bifurcation of the ministry into welfare of ST and welfare of SC. So, these two were separated, because earlier they were taken as one category, now they are bifurcated, that means they were branched out in order to focus on each of them properly, to address their problems properly, because ST's problems were different from SC's problems. SC's were still a part of the society, ST were not the part of the mainstream society, they were literally in the jungles, untouched by the developmental process in the wider society. So, this was done to have a more focused approach towards the need of the tribal welfare. The approach focused on the integrated socio-economic development of the scheduled tribes, which is the most underprivileged section of the Indian society, because this section is most untouched. And the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, a branch of Government of India, looks into the concerns related to the tribal community of India. So, this is the ministry, you can memorize. This is the ministry which looks into the tribal affairs, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So, the tribal welfare programs, let us discuss them. So, what is the upliftment, what are the welfare programs that have been implemented for the upliftment of the tribal? Economic programs, educational, research, health and housing and other schemes. So, let us take them one by one. Economic programs. So, the amount allotted for the tribal welfare schemes in different plans goes to prove that tribal development is one of the priorities. You can go through your book, the chapter, in that you will see the kind of amount that has been allotted for these kind of tribal welfare programs, and every 5 years it gets increased only. That means, it shows that the government is serious about their upliftment. And their economic program includes the 20-point program. establishment of lamps and trifid, and assistance to agriculture. So, what are these programs? The 20-point program is focused on the development of scheduled tribes. 20-point program, as it is called TPP, it was initiated in 2006, is a package of social sector schemes and programs. It consists of 20 points and 66 items being administered by various ministries and Government of India and implemented by states and union territory governments. So, the areas were identified of the problem of these tribal people, and then this particular plan or program of 20 points and 66 items, it was administered, given to them. So, the programs cover various socio-economic aspects such as poverty, which was a big problem for the tribal people. Employment, again a very big problem for the tribal people. They are illiterate and they are completely non-exposed to the outside development and technical advancement. Education, housing, health, agriculture, land reforms, because if you remember in the second chapter we had discussed, their lands were taken away by various organization, government organization in the name of development. So, these people were denied of their own area, of their own land. So, now through land reforms it will be taken care of. Irrigation, this was a big problem for them to assist in their agricultural activities. Drinking water was a problem, and this was the cause of creating so many, bringing so many diseases to this community. And then protection and empowerment of weaker sections and consumer protection, etc. Economic assistance was lent to tribal families to move above the poverty line. So, there is a poverty line according to which somebody, some sections are called poor or very, very poor. They are under the poverty line, that means they are very poor, and there is a criteria to assist at. If you remember in the second chapter, we had learnt that poverty line, that means you are earning, the family is earning less than a lakh rupees per annum, then they come under the below the poverty line, and then they can be given various benefits from the government. They are entitled to avail of them. Under that is the establishment of lamps and trifid. So, what are these? So, to relieve the tribal of bonded labor system, the Bonded Labor System Abolition Act was passed. Bonded Labor Abolition Act 1976. What is bonded labor? Bonded labor is the debt bondage or debt slavery, which is the pledge of a person's services as security against repayment of the debt. That means somebody has taken loan from a money lender, but is unable to pay it back. So, what happens? The money lender will employ that person or engage that person in whatever activities they deem fit for themselves, and these people will have to work endlessly for these people, the money lenders, because they cannot calculate, they do not know how much they have paid back through their services. So, this is called bonded labor. They cannot break away from that. They have to continue to work for them because they have not been able to pay the money that they had taken from them. And then the next idea was to loosen the grip of the money lenders. They were the main exploiters. And the middlemen on the tribal. The government organized large area multi-purpose societies. So, basically these were the ideas to relieve these tribal people from the grip of money lenders. Government organized this LAMPS, which is large area multi-purpose societies. These were intended to provide adequate credit facilities for productive purposes. So, these were the organizations, cooperative organizations which were running in the society. So, to loosen the grip of the money lenders and the middlemen, and to create some kind of employment opportunity and funding and selling their produce. So, these particular cooperative organizations were set up by the government. So, this scheme has benefited 42,000 tribal families in West Bengal. according to one study, and it aims at generating more employment opportunity for the tribal people by collecting and marketing their minor forest produce. So, whatever they manufacture from the forest produce, they get a market for that. Their products can be sold in a particular market with the help of this particular organization, which is LAMPS, and they collect their produce also and sell it, and the profit is given to the tribal. These were the cooperative societies that helped the tribal in selling their agricultural and minor forest produce and providing them with improved varieties of seeds. So, this was also one of their contributions for helping in their agricultural practices. Manures, insecticides, agricultural implements, etc. Remember, their agricultural practices were very primitive, and all these things were not included in their agricultural practices. So, obviously, their produce used to be very low, which was not able to sustain their families or their economic needs. So, with the help of these cooperative societies, all this has been taken care. For marketing the tribal produce, the Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation of India has been set up. So, a new particular organization only, federation only has been set up, which basically markets the tribal produce. So, whatever they produce, it has been supplied to this particular federation, and then they create markets to sell their products. It works to eliminate exploitation of tribal and realization of better prices. So, this organization, this Federation of India, Marketing Development Federation of India, TriFIT, this looks for the better prices also for their produce, and then they help in their agriculture. So, tribal cultivation methods were uneconomic, primitive, and also unscientific. So, now they are being persuaded to take up scientific agriculture. Agricultural implements, that is the instruments with which they carry out the activity of agriculture, manure, seeds and loan facilities are being provided to the tribal. They are also given the land rights. Now, let us go on to the educational programs. We did the economic programs, now there are educational programs. So, more than 80% of the tribals are illiterate, and for the spread of education among tribal, government has made certain provisions. So, just to involve them in the educational activities, government is trying to attract them through free hostels, facilities such as free tuition, stipends also, stipend meaning some monetary help will be given to the beneficiaries. Scholarships, that is extra money as reward to be given for your good achievement. Midday meals, so the food is taken care of, textbooks, etc. So, these facilities are provided to them to bring them to these schools, to avail of these facilities which are there for education. Then ashram schools, which with lands attached to them, and technical schools have come up in tribal areas. They are also given training free of cost in poultry, forestry, animal husbandry, apiculture, etc. So, these are the areas they are being given proper training, so that they can take it up as their source of economic activity, they can earn out of it. So, I hope you know what exactly these work. Poultry, that means having hens and chicken and rearing them up. Forestry, that means producing the creating and selling the forest produce. Then animal husbandry, so any animals, looking after those animals, and again selling the produce from the animals. Apiculture is about the honey bees and creating honey out of this system of rearing the honey bees. Then tribal students taking competitive examinations are given free examination training free of cost. There are pre-examination training centers and coaching cum guidance centers exclusively meant for students of scheduled tribes. This is done basically to come up for them, to come up in the job market. So, training will be provided, they will be helped with their competitive exams also, and that also free of cost. If you see in the general outside world, these kind of training for competitive exams, they are very costly, but here through government's initiatives and efforts and some NGOs also, these kind of examinations or preparation for them is given to them free of cost. So, the National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT, it is a very big organization working in the field of education, and it is under government. And Central Institute of Indian Languages, Mysore, have already prepared teaching modules for more than 60 tribal dialects to popularize education among the tribal. So, if you remember, they have their different dialects or language which does not match with the wider society's language. So, this was the disparity between giving them the education and their interest or disinterest rather in taking up that education. So, now the education, the modules are being prepared in their own dialect. So, they get attracted to this educational system and they try to take it and get educated and literate. Now, come to the third point for their welfare. So, up till now we learnt about the economic welfare and the educational welfare. Now, it is the research programs. So, the further studies of tribal in a scientific way, tribal research centers have been set up. So, now there are certain agencies which are working only for tribal research to know their problems in detail. There are at present 11 such centers in India. To coordinate their activities, a 30-member Central Research Advisory Council has also been set up. So, the council provides guidance on policy formation. Now, the next point is health, housing and other schemes. So, due to the lack of facilities on one hand and due to ignorance, illiteracy, traditional habits etc. on the other, tribal have health and sanitary problems. We had discussed them in detail in chapter 2. And we had discussed about this particular problem of iodine deficiency in some tribes in Himachal Pradesh. So, these are very recurrent problems with the tribal people because of the poor sanitation habits and lack of health centers around their areas. To overcome these problems, certain facilities are being provided to them. Hospitals have been established in some places, and in certain other places mobile hospital services is also provided. So, in the sense, if you cannot build up a proper big hospital in the area, you can at least provide them with the mobile hospitals. So, the doctors can come and check, examine, help them and can go back and then come again. Primary health centers have come up and basic health workers and midwives are meeting the health requirements of the tribal. So, PHC, these are called primary health centers, they are there. So, they will look after the everyday simple diseases and they can help the tribals be free of those diseases with the help of basic health workers and midwives. Even if the many doctors are not there, at least these people can help the tribal people with their health problems, health related problems. Pre and post natal services are being extended to tribal women, very, very important. Under various schemes, houses and sites have also been given to the tribal people. And there are a number of voluntary organizations working for the welfare of the tribal. So, not only the government, there are other voluntary organizations which we learnt about in the last chapter, NGOs. So, they are also working for the welfare of tribal people. Although tribal used to be a bit hostile towards the people coming from the outside world, but through the efforts of these voluntary organizations, now the tribal people are opening to receive people from the outside world also. Dr. H. Sudarshan's Vivekananda Girijana Kalyan and Karuna Trust. These are two major organizations that are working for tribal welfare. They are helping Soligas, a tribal community inhabiting in Biligiri Ranga Hills in Chamarajanagar district of Karnataka. They are helping in education, health, empowerment of Soligas. The Karuna Trust started its initial activities in 1996 in a backward village, Gumballi, near Chamarajanagar. So, at first the importance was given to child and maternal health and was later extended to all. At present, Karuna Trust is working in 26 centers in Karnataka. Apart from Karnataka, the trust engaged in Orissa, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya at nearly 62 centers. So, basically these are the main organizations that are working. They are going deep into the tribal areas and working for the welfare of these tribal people, and the main focus that these organizations have is about the health education and this prenatal and postnatal care, which was completely not taken into account before these kind of initiatives. Scheduled tribes constitute one of the most backward classes in India, and national development very much depends on the development of tribal, because we cannot have a national development having one section lagging behind. So, we have to have every section of the society should be able to be called developed in order to call our nation developed. So, these people are now taken into this era of development, and the attempts are there for breaking the geographical barriers and isolation of tribals, so that they can be provided with basic facilities. Education, absence of exploitation, sincere planning, dedicated workers, etc. will help them overcome all the barriers and join the national mainstream. So, these are the areas which they have been lacking in. So, now these organizations are particularly focusing on these areas in order for them to join the national mainstream for the developmental process. So, with that we end with this section, and again there are some questions for you. Which ministry looks into the concerns of the tribal welfare? Name any two developmental measures initiated by the government for SC and ST. What is LAMPS? What is TriFed? Name two NGOs that are working for the tribal welfare. So, we end this chapter, this part of the chapter with these questions. So, please learn the answers of these questions, learn the chapter also, so that you get the details clear, and we will see you again with the next part of the same chapter. Till then, take good care of yourself. Sai Ram.